Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this week's Food Forest Tours. Hope y'all are doing well. Over here to this first peach tree. Looks like this bottom part is really putting on some good growth. About maybe a foot right here of this main branch so far. About maybe 6 to 8 inches right here on some of these side shoots, so it's good to see. The top of this tree is kind of going out, it looks like, but it looks like it's filling in real good from this bottom. I don't know if it's the rootstock or the tree, but the peaches look really good, so I'm assuming it may be the variety, but hopefully get to test some peaches from it this year and find out. The peas are looking really good, and the lettuce all coming up really well. Get some good leaves on the lettuce. Peas are doing good despite it's close to 90 degrees today. I've had to get used to the heat again today. It's been like in the 70s, been really nice, but it's almost close to 90 today, so I may do some light work today because it's I'm feeling the heat. It's full sunshine too, so it gets quite hot and humid. I think the humidity is really high today too, so that makes a difference too. It's so hot, I feel like you just sweat walking outside. Peaches are really starting to get some heavier damage from the plum curculio, it looks like, unfortunately. But hopefully diverse polyculture of growing all sorts of stuff around here will be good next year to help out with that. So hopefully won't have those issues next year, but see how it goes. This smaller peach tree's looking really good. Got some really vigorous shoots coming out, about 18 inches right there on some of these. That one too, looking really good. Oh, it's caught under there. There we go. This tree looks really healthy and happy. Over at the other large plum, peach, excuse me, it's also getting damage from plum curculio. You can see the kind of sap-like fluid dripping off of the peaches, but hopefully they'll hang in there, and some of them don't have as much damage. Like this one right here looks really good for the most part, a little bit down there in the bottom part, but overall looks really good on this tree, better so than the other tree, so it's kind of interesting. Love to dig this little pool out soon, but kind of hard with it being 90 degrees now. It makes it a little bit easier during the cooler weather for sure. Seedling peach trees got some new growth coming out. It's kind of stalled recently, but hopefully it'll pick back up soon, have some new good growth coming out. Cherry trees looking really healthy still, got lots of these new shoots. As I mentioned last week, it looks like it dropped all its cherries. It could have been the windstorm, so I was thinking about that. We had some crazy, like almost high hurricane winds here, which we get bad hurricanes here, and that could have been actually what blew the crop away. I didn't think about that. I was thinking it may have just dropped it its first year, but I'm thinking it may have been more towards that due to that wind damage. This cherry's also got some really good growth coming out. Really, the branches are really starting to fill in and thicken up. A lot of side branches starting to get some good growth on them coming out, so that's what I'm excited to see. Hopefully this tree will get really a lot bigger in size this year and have some good cherries next year. Paw tree really looks taller with the leaves on it for some reason. I'm just noticing that it's so tall. It's probably close to about, I'd say almost 12 feet tall now. It's really starting to get some good growth on it. I was mentioning the wind, it may have blown the pawpaws off too. It looks like we got some right here, so it'd be interesting to see if they hang on. There's another flower right there, so that one may be too late to be pollinated because I don't see any other flowers on the tree, but might get some, so that would be nice. And I've heard pawpaws sucker and send up shoots. Well, got the first one coming up right here, and it is about, I didn't even realize it actually started coming up last year. It's about, it's about 6 inches of growth down there, and looking really good so far. So it's put on about another 6 inches already this year. So really excited to see that. Would love for these to thicken up and create some more pawpaws that I can move around other parts of the food forest. Little pawpaw's doing good. It's grown about maybe 4 inches so far this year, so doing okay so far. Hopefully it'll keep getting bigger and bigger. Over to the second row, this apple tree's starting to put on some good growth. Looking good. This other apple right here is really thriving. It's got a foot plus on this sheet. And the top sheet's starting to come off and putting on lots of these great side shoots right here on the main trunk. So that's really good to see, and the top looks really healthy too. This apple tree down on the end of the second row, I'm pretty sure it got from firelight, and this variety is supposed to be a Granny Smith, and actually see a little bit more maybe right down here. I've heard that this variety can be susceptible to that, so I'm very tempted to remove it, unfortunately, just due to that. You can see some right here. As if you've watched the previous videos, had a lot of issues with that on the pear tree this year and had a huge crop, and the fire blight wiped out pretty much all of the crops. So yeah, it may not be worth bothering with a variety that isn't gonna do well. Got some lettuce starting to thicken up down there, looking good. I dug this new trench. Sort of comes over beside the cherry tree right here. And I need to connect it to, there's one kind of right there. That's kind of the edge of the little pool that'll be right here. Can connect it to that. I haven't connected to that yet. It goes right here. And then it'll go along down. I made this little small mound here on this side. It'll kind of come down. And then it connects from that pool into it. So connecting all these water features to flow into each other and to use all the water to fill up these pools. Forgetting to mention, I've been using these logs that I had some cut logs that had just piled up in kind of a brush pile, and using them as kind of like a border around the ridges and the fruit trees to kind of create a little bit of a kind of a thing to help keep the soil from sliding, and also just kind of have an area where the kind of those general growing areas will be. Although I will grow stuff definitely outside of that, but kind of also just to create habitat for insects that would feed off the wood and both live underneath the wood and inside of there. So I think I just heard a big frog right near here saying, "Hey, oh, yep, he's right probably within 10 feet somewhere right down there." But yep, so they've been really good so far, so I've been working on that. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Frog, or Miss Frog? And so yep, looking good, and kind of hoping that'll bring some diversity too to the food forest. I'll end that part 2 here, and I will hopefully see you guys in part 3 soon. Bye guys.